is security started intervening at this point.
I'm not sitting here fighting with you about the fight that we had last night.
You got physically violent with me. I texted Travis. I said, come up here because I didn't want anything to happen.
I mean, yeah.
It's coming to what? Save me?
No, go ahead. Continue. You Travis to the rescue.
No, that was the last one. You can go. You can go.
Okay. Oh yeah, you called me a liar, and yet.
I watched you lie.
You called me a liar.
I watched you lie.
You're there's no what. You still haven't told me what lie it is. But yet every single time, you know you do this every single time. I'm not talking to nobody. That you go jerk him off. I don't care. I really could care less. It's you every single time. You latch onto some sort of thing. When I already told you, I don't know what you're talking about. You don't even know what you're talking about. You still haven't even told me what it is. But run with it. Run with it.
What it is.
No, you haven't.
I said to Travis. I said to you. Hey, tell Travis what just happened.
You told me to do it. You told me to. You said, go do that.
I said, no, tell him what just happened.
And I lied.
And that you punched me in the thing, and you figured in the face, and you said, no, I didn't. What the are you talking about? And I watched you lie, and then I
punch you. By the way, I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you, babe. You're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You've been a lot of fights.
Bringing this one in on their own.
No.
Okay.
No, when you have a closed fist.
Sting.
I suppose. I'm sorry I hit you like this.
Sting's already been stung, though.
I did not punch you.
Yeah, that's
I did not deck you. I was hitting you. I don't know what the promotion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are your toes?
What am I supposed to do? Do this?
How are your toes?
I'm not sitting here about it, am I? You are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a baby.
Because you start physical fights?
Such a baby.
Because you start physical fights?
That is
Not helping her.
You did, so I had to get out of there.
Yes.
Well, she's gonna testify about being reactionary, right? Something that lines up with you.
Probably.
I'm sure she's going to explain it away, but still,
Every
damn.
single time. What's your excuse when there's not a physical fight? Then what's the excuse then? You're still being admirable, right? Just by running away?
There's two different situations that we're referencing in this fight. Two different altercations between Johnny and I involving the door. The first of which we first start talking about, what that conversation is about the disparity, the disparity between Johnny and I in our physical fights. The disparity of how he would proactively punch me, and I would have to resort to reactively hitting him. I am talking about the difference between a punch, which Johnny did often, and me having to hit him in my defense.
That's not what that conversation said.
I know the difference between those two, and I'm highlighting the difference between those two. Even if he wasn't twice my size, they're very different, and that's what I'm pointing out to him.
This is crazy.
The situation that involved, the context of that is, it happened in our bedroom up in Penthouse 3. You've heard us talk about that place. And I was trying to shut a door, our bedroom door actually. I was trying to barricade myself behind this door, and Johnny was trying to get through the door. He was using his body and his limbs to try to bust through the door as I was trying to keep it closed because I knew what he was doing when he got to me.
You're such a baby.
Yeah.
And I was hitting his arms. His arms, his body,
be accepting of physical violence against them. You're such a baby for
to prevent me from closing the door.
You have an explanation for that one, Amber?
And that is a separate incident that we would talk about in the second half of that recording. We were talking about my toes. That involved a different incident.
I'm lost. So is the jury.
Which was a bathroom door, and it was one of those ones that he was passing out in. And I could hear passing out, or what it sounded like to me, behind a closed doors passing out. I heard a thud, I heard a lot of commotion, I heard a glass break, and I hear what sounds like his body falling against the bathroom door. I open it to check on him, as I was accustomed to doing at that time. Johnny violently reacted to me opening the door, pushed it against me. It ran up over my toes, and he angrily came around the side of the door, swinging at me. I naturally pushed the door.
Part of the conversation where you say, "Why do you run away all the time?" I'm sorry, this is complete.
And also to the awareness, the knowledge that he was coming for me. Johnny later denied. Well, later he blamed me in his inability to understand what happened in that he was not in his right mind, and he misunderstood that interaction and tried to blame me for starting a physical fight between us. And he even later went so far as to say, I wasn't even going to hit you. And that was the second door. I only could respond by trying to take accountability for my actions in it, what he understood my actions were, and my interpretation of what I'm trying to say to him is, look, I'm going to do my best to respond. I was in pain, I was scared, and I can't promise you that when I'm scared and in pain, I won't react thinking I know very well what our situation is and what's going to happen to me should I not.
In that conversation.
Thank you.
That's you and Mr. Depp on that recording, right, Miss Hurd?
That's correct.
And you said you hit Mr. Depp, right?
Yeah, I had to hit his body to get
Miss
him out
Hurd,
of the door.
my question was, you said on that recording that you hit Mr. Depp, right?
Yes, I did.
Control the
You
witness.
accused him of being a baby for not wanting to be in a physical fight with you, right?
Incorrect. I accused him of being a baby for complaining about me hitting him when he was trying to get through the door. I was trying to barricade.
Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 368?
What? Wasn't a better answer.
Again, Your
Knacker
Honor,
with the bathroom
including
audio.
just Mr. Depp and Ms. Hurd. I'm going to move for the entire...
Open the bathroom door when you were knocking on it. After a few times I opened.
Good call.
And you just kept going. You just kept going. I tried to close the door 3 times.
Yeah, they did. They covered the transcript. You're right.
And then
it was rolling down here. That's fine.
I accidentally, I swear, when I was trying to close the door, I guess it scraped your toes. I didn't mean to do that. I bent down, and you either pushed or you kicked. I think you kicked the door open. The door, more open, so that it would hit me. And it hit me.
I didn't mean to. I didn't know that.
Hit me in the head.
But I did not mean to do that. I don't know what
I was bent down behind the door.
I did not do anything to her. I did not kick a door or push a door so that it would hit you. I did not. I swear. It was not my intention. I think I remember when the door scraped my toes, I reacted, but the door thing, I remember, I never did that. That wasn't on purpose. I might have done it on accident.
Okay.
But
so let's say that was an accident. I then stood up. I don't even know if I said, I might have said like, what, whatever, because I'd just been hit in the head with the corner of a door.
I'm so sorry. I did not. I'm sorry.
And then I stood up.
I'm so sorry.
And then you clocked me.
I remember hitting you as a response to the door thing.
And that's what she testified to.
And I'm really sorry about hitting you with the door or hitting your head. I did not mean to, nor...
You didn't mean to hit me in the head with the door, but you meant to punch me in the jaw.
I meant to hit you, and I did not do this thing with the door. I did mean to hit you.
So that you didn't mean?
The door? No, God, no, I didn't.
But punching me in the jaw.
I didn't. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes, the door, no.
To hit you, but it was in response. I just reacted in response to my foot. I just reacted, and I'm sorry. It's below me.
Your foot? That was why you punched me.
Yeah. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I.
That's somewhat consistent with what
And
she
that's
said
you
too.
and Mr. Depp on that recording, right?
That's correct.
And Mr. Depp was hiding from you in the bathroom. Isn't that right, Ms. Hurd?
Incorrect.
So you told him in that excerpt that you hit him with the door but did not intend to hit him, correct? Did you say that?
I said whatever I said in that recording. I don't.
I said whatever I said.
For me to remember everything.
And that's a recording marked as exhibit Q. Would you continue to listen to exhibit Q?
Are these from the same day?
I reacted.
This is going to be a long bit of cross right now.
And then you kicked the bathroom door into his head, didn't you?
No, I didn't. And
then you punched him in the
defended myself
jaw.
in that audio. You can hear it for yourself.
Right. And then you punched him.
Also, that I tried to make that clear on the audio tape too,
So-
in futility.
Yeah, you've heard
Yes.
this audio before, haven't you, Miss Heard?
Yeah, we've already had this trial before.
Yeah, you've played. It
We've
was
had this
played for
trial
you
before.
when you were deposed in
No, you haven't.
2016 in connection with your divorce from Mr. Depp, wasn't it?
You didn't have this
That's one
trial
of the
before.
times I've heard it, yes.
So you've had plenty of time to think about how to respond to this recording, haven't you?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Let's take a look at how you responded to it the first time. Plaintiff's
And it also misrepresents what actually happened, which is him trying to get into a room. I'm trying to keep him out. And then he runs the door over my toes, trying to get into the room. I try to push him out of it, which is what the hit is referred to. And Johnny, whenever he was injured or touched at all, was referred to it in these ways of punching or clocked or whatever. And whether you discussed it with him or not, the last thing you do in talking to him afterwards or trying to reconcile with him is to get into what the definition of those words mean to him. It's never. If he was ever pushed, it was a quote. He called it a cold clock. I mean, it's just very dramatic.
Isn't it true?
And there was also one more thing that I did notice, and that was Darvo. I did actually notice that in the audio she was complaining about him getting his security to come and defend him, and in the time she wasn't saying that these incidents were not happening. She wasn't denying these incidents. It's just that he would get his security to come defend him, and she was downplaying a lot of this. We see this in the audio where she justifies the punch again and hitting, even though she initially denied that she didn't lie to Travis about the specific subject of abusing him, but then goes on to say, I didn't hit you, I punched, I do all this. So it's very hard to ignore that, because now she's alleging that he would get his security to come vouch for him and say a lot of things that weren't true and back him up, etc. This is the Darvo that is being perpetrated here, because he did do that, but it was to say that she was doing all these things, but she's now using it to say that it was to hide the fact that he was doing all these things, to say and turn it on her to say that she was doing it. But there's audio saying that you did it. You confessed to doing this yourself. I don't understand. She confesses to doing this herself in the audio. That has to be noted. This would be the example that Sarah J. Hazy and Jennifer Freud were talking about in regards to Darvo, and we are seeing this played out. This wasn't the only time we saw it play out. Interestingly, during this period of September, Depp alleged in the UK case that there was an argument with Amber Heard on September 2015, which was around the time of the Toronto and Venice film festivals respectively. This covers the 4th of September 2015 for the Venice festival, and also the 14th to the 17th of September for the Toronto Film Festival. This is very interesting because Amber Heard did not allege any type of incidents for Toronto. It was also very interesting that Johnny alleged that she flew into a fit of rage, saying that he was a horrible person and not supporting her art because of him deciding to listen to his agent and not go to the festival where his agent had said that it would upstage Eddie Redmayne, as he claimed in his UK witness statement number 2. Not only is this paralleling Australia and the assertion in regards to the credit cards, the wills, when he had suggested the post-op for that particular incident, it also led to further investigation on that particular day, where an article that was written on the 14th of September documents something that seems to corroborate what Depp is now outlining. So it was likely that during this time Depp had actually gone on to see Amber and deliver the bad news, to which Amber reacts violently and doesn't want to come downstairs or do anything with him, as Lainey states, because Lainey is the one that's actually stating here that numerous times that Depp had gone up and down on the elevator with Amber not following him. So this likely suggests that she believes it's because of the guests that he was with that she doesn't want to take part because they were all older, etc. But according in the same article, she was upset and crying. Unsurprisingly, this corroborates everything that Depp was saying in this witness statement, because Lainey also goes on to state that Warner Brothers were not really happy, and it was a rumor going around within that time as well that they were not happy. Just like he said in the witness statement, the next day, on the 15th of September 2015, Lainey notes again of Amber Heard giving a stern telling to Paige Heard, who is her mother.
What's that?
I'm her mom.
Who? Oh.
Never make eye contact.
It was also the same day, now twice, recorded in the witness statement, that she had heard abuse at him, called him a fat old man after they had gone back from the premiere. Remember, Depp had refused to do what the agents have said, just like he refused to do what Christie had suggested to him in regards to the post-nup, and like basically take it back and basically go at the lawyers. The same thing here. He refused the agents and goes to the premiere anyway. She wasn't happy with this regardless, and goes off at him, allegedly, according to his account here.
You're right. I don't want the monster. I need my man. I need to talk to you. Please, Johnny. Don't force me to be something else to you. This is taking me for granted, and I can never stop before this turns into something far darker.
Whoa.
Describing yourself in that text message, right?
The exact opposite. I'm trying to interrupt him starting a new cycle where he starts using again.
He's not responding to you, Ms. Heard.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to desperately stop him.
That's
Please
not what
answer
that
the phone and
says.
say, doesn't this mean anything to you?
1st of October 2015 notes that Amber and Johnny had attended their second counselor's session. The first was with Amy Banks, who saw them for one session on the 24th of April, where she made no note of this session. I'm very sorry, but my pettiness is really coming out here, because I like details to be written down by professionals and not just this reliance or trust on their memory, where that could fail you at any point. That aside, she believed that Johnny was an abuser and Amber Heard was telling the truth. For the full disclosure, she had a private session with Amber on the 22nd of April 2015 and on the 6th of May 2015, and with Depp individually on the 27th of April 2015. Unsure why this private sessions would be needed if it was just a relational consult and not therapy. There is no background to reach the conclusions that she did. On top of that, she saw Amber twice and saw Depp just once. The idea of equality does actually bring up here whether there could be potential bias in her assessment, just based on the frequency that she saw both individuals. But I'm digressing. All this is never here or there. Let's just move on to the next piece of evidence that's available. For context, in case I didn't establish before, this couple sessions was done by none other than Dr. Laurel Anderson, who was the couples therapist. She was the one that was detailing a lot of what she felt was
engaged in what I saw as mutual abuse.
21st of October 2015, couple session with Amber Heard and Depp with Laurel Anderson. On the 22nd, he alleges a third incident, in which this time he documents it in text form to Paige Heard, Amber Heard's mother, saying that she had lost it once again, and he was apologizing numerous times to her. And he also alleges that he had to go and hide in the bathroom. Again, we've heard this before. And he stated firmly in the text message that he had to call security to intervene and intercede and basically break them up. According to him, when he had actually exited the bathroom, she busted out and began another tirade at him, hurling abuse and threw iced tea at the back of his head. And this is very important, because you come to hear of her account in the Thanksgiving incident and what I was talking about earlier in regards to Darvo.
You're right. Please come home, right?
That is correct.
Please answer. Don't break us up. Please answer. Please. And continuing on page 97, you write, give me some piece of your heart. Please. No fight. I promise. Please. No fights. Please just pick up. Please give me 2 minutes. I'm dying. Please. And continuing on page 98, you write, "Please come home. Please come home, Baba. I am so sorry."
That was another time I'm trying to stop another twist off.
You don't mention that, do
This
you?
is what would happen when Mr. Depp would try to take some space from you, right?
No, this is what would happen when Johnny had moved into the next phase of the cycle, decided to use,
No,
and our
Ms.
lives
Heard.
were getting a lot worse at that
Ms.
point.
Heard, I'm talking about your actions.
On the 26th of November, the same day, 2015, Erin Borum notes that she actually did attend Thanksgiving after receiving an invite the night before. And note, both Amber and Depp are calm and coherent. Now, what could have likely have happened during this? The testimony is as follows. Amber Heard stipulates that Depp had disappeared with Manson to do coke, and this was why she followed him. An argument took place downstairs, and also she did not forget to take her wine with her. He picked up the decanter and hurled it at her face, but it missed. The only aggression that was noted here was a bit of shoving and grabbing that was alleged in the UK. She alleged that Johnny was the one that threw the wine glass. However, in the US, she said that she had the wine glass in her hand. She says in the UK that she hit her head against an exposed brick. For the UK, she did go back downstairs to finish out the evening, but in the US, she did not say this. Depp, on the other hand, did not provide a response to this in the US. However, he denied in the UK, saying that he had never abused Amber Heard. Raquel Pennington, on the other hand, claims that she saw the wine spill, and perhaps this is why this exhibit was presented in and added to the US exhibit. I actually don't know which this would fall under. Now, this case off the bat is very confusing for the details being alleged, because there is just inconsistency from what was alleged back in the UK case and what was being alleged in the US case. I can only infer and just reasonably conclude that in the UK case that it was a mess, because when it was noted to her that she came downstairs and no one even saw injuries on her based on what she was alleging, she actually split the incident to two parts and said that what Raquel saw when she came down, that though she didn't note any injuries, that was just part one or the first part, and no one actually knew of the other part. And it's just confusing to this point, because it puts Raquel's testimony into jeopardy. What did she see then? Because if it's not, so the throwing of the bottle happened in the part one, but in the part two he was beating you. What is the catalyst for part two, and what is the catalyst of you being beaten up if it's not all in one incident? It's very confusing. Raquel's account in the VA trial is even more puzzling, because she is the only one that actually does say on her own volition that she went up to see the bottle and it was broken in the broken bottles everywhere. She alleged this, but in a US trial, again, it was brought to her attention whether this was the case, and she actually says that she can't even remember whether the bottle was broken. It doesn't help that there is no pictures of this particular incident at all, when she already has the habit of documenting what has actually happened. In terms of Australia, she already documented that. So one would infer, if it happens again, whatever incident would happen again, you would document it, but it's very sporadic, it's very random. The diary entry was the last documentation that she actually done. Anyway, moving on, there was no documentation for this particular incident. It was just a he said, she said.
You're so careful. What? You're not opposite world. You're not. You can't be heir to the throne. Almost made.
Get it. Oh no, he's a monster. No, he's a monster. No, turn around. He's a monster. He's a monster.
scaring me.
Hey,
why am I in this? Jack, you're Jack's involved me. Turn around! Jack, you're a savage.
As I said earlier, Amber Heard's own account is what undermines Raquel Pennington's testimony, because she remembers seeing the debris. She remembers seeing the glass being torn to shreds, and she remembers going downstairs to enjoy the evening. And of course, now the assault happening in the second part of the incident, yes, one might look at this and believe that it's just convenient how all of this is just lining up in this type of fashion. And in my own finding, combining these two cases is the lack of the pictures being shown in regards to this particular incident in VA. The pictures that I've shown you were not used during the trial, so the jury did not get a chance to actually examine these pictures and put them into context. The point I'm trying to make is the judge has seen this picture, but the judge also heard that some of these incidents, like for example incident 1 happening in 2013, the judge heard that also and ruled in our favor there. The jury heard that it happened in 2013 and then it was changed to 2012. It is really hard for me to say that this incident actually happened the way it is being presented, in the sense that, well, for one, there is an absence of this picture in the VA case, and two, had Amber Heard not split this into two separate incidents and then come into VA and go again with the fact that it was the same incident and no longer two parts, had she not done that, I would have been more inclined and open to actually believe that this was perhaps an incident that did happen. Now seeing it develop, she just discounted what she told to that court about the incidents being in two parts. She discounted it completely and just went for the one part incident, which again makes no sense. I just have to discount the incident completely and just accept that it's just more likely that this was just a normal dinner. Continuing on with the timeline, 10th of December 2015, Amber informs Erin that her and Depp are due for a vacation to the Bahamas on the 20th till the 30th of December. So make a note of that 10th of December 2015, which brings us to the night of the James Corden show in 2015.
Flower crowns and all this stuff, and then my hand and my face, and then my hands.
And then you could say to people, guys, it's a character choice.
Right.
Oh, please.
She's zombie.
She's known for her plot.